Welcome back to the GSMC Baseball Podcast. We're moving into our fourth segment, which is going to be talking about, again, my All-Star Ballot, updating it. I did do a segment on it like a few weeks ago, but I did want to update it with injuries happening and just performance happening as well. So, yeah, I want to apologize, by the way, from the last segment. If you were watching, there might have been a weird cut at the end. I was recording, and it magically gave out in the middle of my recording because it said I didn't have enough space. So I had to delete some things and come back. But just sorry about that if that was a little weird or there's a weird cut. But hopefully it's better in post-edit. So, yeah. So we'll be starting off with the first base position. So let's get into it. So first, at first base from the I chose from the Philadelphia Phillies, Bryce Harper. And as much as it is weird hearing Bryce Harper be a first baseman, in my opinion, he was the correct pick for this decision. There were so many people I could have picked here. I mean, really, I was between him and Freddie Freeman. Freeman's having a absolutely incredible season, but I did want to go with Harper for a few reasons. One, first of all, I think the storyline of him transforming into a first baseman after being an outfielder his entire career was very, very cool, and just being able to flawlessly make that transition is a testament to his talent. And I think people have this misconception that first base is some incredibly easy position. It's definitely easier than others, but it's still a very hard position. You're still scooping baseball, you're still catching baseballs that throw at 80 miles per hour, thrown across the diamond. So the way he's been able to transform himself to be a first baseman has been very, very impressive. And also, overall, the Phillies are the best team in baseball right now, so I did want to give a little bit of props to Harper and his team. So I chose Harper really as a testament of that. Of course, there's one other Philly on this list. You see him, I'm sure you see him if you're watching on video. So overall, Harper was the decision for me at first base here. It is very hard between him and Freddie Freeman. I mean, those two guys are the elite of the league first baseman. But I did end up going with Harper for the reasons I did say. Now, there are some other guys I wanted to shout out. Of course, Pete Alonso having a great season for the Mets. Michael Busch having a really nice season for the Cubs as well. You also are going to be having Matt Olson, also always a great player, Lamont Wade, Christian Walker, some other guys having great seasons at first base as well. But for me, it came down to Harper versus Freeman. At second base in the National League, I do have from the Arizona Diamondbacks, Ketel Marte. Marte is having an absolutely amazing season right now. Might be in the top 5 MVP right now, and it's just really there was no competition for me at this decision. I thought Marte was having the best season all around for second baseman in the National League. He's been a really, really great player for a long, long time now, and is finally putting a lot of it together for this year. I mean, has been great before, but this might be his best season yet. So, yeah, has been absolutely fantastic this year. Was easily the choice for me at second base. I, again, didn't really think there was anyone close. Luis Arias, of course, having a really good season. Ozzie Albies as well, but both those guys I didn't think came close to the season that Marte is having. Third base here, I have from the Philadelphia Phillies, Alec Bohm. Now, if you would have told me that Alec Bohm would be an all-star at the start of the season, I would probably laughed in your face. Because Bohm was not a guy I had on my radar breaking out and being able to do what he has done this year. Has been fantastic, just incredible. I mean, it's one of the biggest reasons why the Phillies have been as good as they have been this year. And Jet has done really, really great. Overall, has just had a fantastic season overall. And yeah, has broken out in a real way and has been fantastic this year. Now, there were some guys, of course, I were considering as well. You also have from the Rockies, Ryan McMahon. McMahon really was the guy I was debating with Bohm, but I decided to go with Bohm just because I think the season he's having is a little bit better, and also, of course, the Phillies are a much better team than the Rockies, and I think that does matter when factoring in All-Star. I'm 100% confident that McMahon is going to get in the All-Star game because every team, of course, needs a representative, and who else are you going to pick for the Rockies? No one else is good, so McMahon is going to get in. I decided to give the starting spot to Bohm just because I think he's having the better season, and of course his team is as well, so I did end up going with him. Now, at shortstop is where people might get mad, and this is my decision. I think it's the right one, and I'm going with from the New York Mets, Francisco Lindor. Lindor is quietly again having one of the best seasons in Major League Baseball. He's always a slow start. Always first month he's horrible, second month he's bad. Then after that he really kicks it up a notch, and has he done that this year? Since moving to the leadoff spot, the Mets have done so well. Lindor's done incredible, been one of the best players in all of baseball, I'd say. And yeah, overall has just been a absolutely fantastic, amazing player. and has just been so incredible for these past few weeks or so. While the Mets have been doing as good as they have been, of course we know about the storyline of them and Grimace and all that fun stuff. But Lindor hitting like he's supposed to be has been one of the biggest additions for them, and has been absolutely incredible, amazing player, and somehow has had 4 straight great seasons with the Mets. Never made an All-Star game yet, so I'm hoping that changes. He deserves it. And as a Mets fan who gets to watch him every day play, it is a joy. And his defense is absolutely incredible. Of course, this easily would have gone to Mookie Betts, but he is now going to be hurt for a significant amount of time. So I think Lindor is the second best option. Also, looking here, I would have C.J. Abrams as another guy I was debating. Ellie De La Cruz also being fantastic. Trey Turner, Mason Wynn, those guys are all great, but I did go with Lindor for the performance of the Mets these past few weeks and how well he has done since moving to the leadoff position. So I did go with it. All right, so going into the outfield now, we have first from the San Diego Padres, Jurickson Profar. Profar has done fantastic this year. I've talked about him a good amount in the show, how well he has done and how just amazing the season has been for him. Signed a 1-year, $1 million contract with the Padres in the offseason, and man, has that been worth it. Really has broken out this year, been so incredible, and yeah, it's just been a huge piece of what the Padres have been doing this year. Has been so fantastic, and yeah, I don't know what to say about him. He's had an insane season for a guy of his caliber. It's just been so incredible to watch, and yeah, I wanted to give some love to him here. I had him as my first outfield pick in the last ballot as well, and I'm continuing to have that. Next here we have someone I did not pick, 2 guys I did not pick as well for the outfield. First, from the San Francisco Giants, Heliot Ramos. Ramos has been fantastic this year and has really gone under the radar because of the Giants' performance. In a team that lacks big bats, Ramos has really transformed himself into one and has been so great. I mean, really has been fantastic for them this year. Was a top prospect for a little while with them. Really never lived up to his pedigree as that, but has done, again, really just fantastic this year and has done really great. So I wanted to give some shout outs to him. I wanted to put him on this ballot, and I think he's had an amazing season, and I think he definitely deserves this placement here. Has been very good, and yeah, overall I think this placement is very earned for Ramos and has had an amazing season for the Giants this year. Next up, we have from the Milwaukee Brewers, the last outfield spot, Christian Yelich. Yelich had a great season this year. I almost had him on my ballot last time, but was hurt for a little bit of the year, so I wanted to give him more playing time to see if he would sustain this to put him on the ballot. He did, and he is my pick here for the third outfield spot. I think he's been fantastic, and yeah, he deserves this placement here. Has been very good. Now, I wanted to give some shout-outs to some other guys here for the outfield position for the National League. Some other guys who have been doing very well. I wanted to give a shout-out to Jazz Chisholm. Is having a solid season. Brendan Donovan, as well as has had a solid season. Teoscar Hernandez is someone I really wanted to get involved here, but I did not, unfortunately, find a place for him, but still is doing very well. Brandon Marsh having a really good season. Brandon Nimmo, Jake McCarthy, Jackson Merrill, Andy Pages, Brian Reynolds, great season. Spencer Steer, Seiya Suzuki, Tatis, of course, before he got hurt, would have been one of the picks. So overall, a lot of talented outfield position, a lot of talented players at the outfield position, but I did end up going with these 3 for this. Catching position for the National League, I have William Contreras. Contreras has had an amazing season for the Brewers since coming over in that trade from the Braves a few years ago. Has been just such an amazing player for this Brewers team. He's having an incredible offensive season this year. Has been so good, and yeah, overall has been really fantastic, and a big part of why the Brewers are first place in the NL Central right now. Some other guys I was close to picking for this were Francisco Alvarez, just didn't have enough time. Patrick Bailey, who I thought has been absolutely fantastic this year. Wilson Contreras, his brother, but of course has also been injured this year. Elias Diaz has also been good. Will Smith has also been good, but I did end up going with William Contreras. Now, the National League DH, you see who it is on the screen from the Los Angeles Dodgers. It's Ohtani. You may think that was an easy decision, and as much as it was hard because I wanted to get Marcell Ozuna in there. Has been so incredibly fantastic for this Braves team, but I just think Ohtani's having a better season. And yeah, but Ozuna still having an amazing season. I'm sure we all know how well he's been doing for this Braves team. Is one of the big reasons why they've stayed afloat in this stretch of having no Acuna and having no Strider. So yeah, wanted to give a shout out to him. So We'll be going over the ballot again. First, from first base position from the Philadelphia Phillies, Bryce Harper. Second base from the Arizona Diamondbacks, Ketel Marte. Third base from the Philadelphia Phillies, Alec Boehm. Shortstop from the New York Mets, Francisco Lindor. Outfield from the San Diego Padres, Jurickson Profar. Outfield from the San Francisco Giants, Heliot Ramos. Outfield from the Milwaukee Brewers, Christian Yelich. Catcher from the Milwaukee Brewers, William Contreras. And DH from the Los Angeles Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani. So yeah, that is our fourth segment here, talking about my NL All-Star Ballot. Wanted to give an update on that. Moving into our fifth and final segment here, which is going to be talking about a little bit of a mock draft. So, of course, tonight is the NBA draft. So that is very exciting. I will be watching that. Always love the draft. And because of that, I did want to give a little bit of MLB draft talk. I'll be giving my first official top 10 of the mock draft. So, yeah, I'll be going over the guys I have picked there, picked in the positions they do, why, and yeah. So we'll be doing a mock draft when we come back. So thank you, and see you after the break. Fourth and final one. So thanks, and bye.